Yeah. Hey. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Legendary conversations.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Spit Your Game podcast. Today, I have an NC High School standout, also a Mississippi Valley standout, and a 2019 Slam Dunk champion. I got my guy, Cor-J Cox. What's good with you, bro?
What's the word, champion? How you doing?
Man, you got it, man. I appreciate you, man, for jumping on, man. Everything good.
Come on, dog. You already know it's love. You family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what you currently doing, man? Where you at?
Currently I'm playing professional basketball here in Israel. I live in Nazareth, Israel, and I'm a professional basketball player. And also I'm, training the kids, teaching the kids. I'm a life coach, doing the best I can to find ways to help kids, find solutions through their problems, through their troubles.
Okay. You say over there in Israel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long you been over there?
Almost 7 years. Coming up July 18th. It'd be 7 years since I've been away from home.
Man. How often do you go back to visit home, or you just haven't yet?
I haven't yet, but soon. Yeah.
So, okay. Let's get to some of your background, man. You was born and raised where?
Born and raised in Beaufort County, but I was born in Washington, North Carolina. I'm from Washington, North Carolina, but I claim the whole area. So I was raised all around the area. You know how that go.
Yeah.
I tell everybody,
you can't leave no parts out.
You can't be specific. You got to just be like, look, every area around there. I claim the whole 252 area, Eastern North Carolina. So, but I'm originally from Washington, North Carolina.
Okay. Any siblings?
Yeah, I have two sisters. Okay. Two blood sisters, but I have a lot of, spiritual brothers and sisters, frat brothers. I got plenty of family and friends, that we call brothers too. So brothers and sisters. So, we have a nice amount.
Okay. You have any kids?
Two daughters. Okay. My baby girl, she's actually now laying down. She's 5, and my oldest, she's in Louisiana, Cor-J Cox. She just won her middle school basketball, championship just a couple weeks ago. So, shout out to her.
Yeah, definitely shout out to the champion. Shout out to the champion. And your neighborhood, man, how was it growing up?
Oh man, the neighborhood, you know how low poverty areas be, when it comes to just trying to find a way to get out or just trying to find a way to get through. And, coming from the low poverty area, the hood, you got the drugs, you got everything around, but what I did was just watch and observe. And I just took, I made my decisions on how I wanted to live my life, opposed to what I saw and what I experienced. So as I was growing up in the hood, it was just like, yeah, I'm in the hood right now, but that don't mean that I have to be a part of the hood. I don't have to, that's something that I tell the kids all the time. The hood, the streets never loved us. So I'm unable to, glorify that. I'm unable to glorify that when I lost plenty of family and friends, in the hood and in the streets, so it's like, that was always, for me, it was a challenge, but it was, I turned that challenge into a great, experience to get through it, because it wasn't easy. It's not easy, it's not easy being in in these type of situations and environments, and you're just trying to find a way out and keep a tunnel vision on something. That's why you got, be disciplined. That's why God always got to be right there first. And that's, shout out, to the Most High. Shout out to all the, the village family that raised us all going through these ups and downs. And that's what, that's why I was thankful to have, a village of people around supporting, making sure that I kept, stayed on the right track.
Right. They say it take a village to raise, man. They say it take a village. You know how it was back in the days growing up. I think that's what's missing. I think that's what's missing now.
Exactly. And that's the thing, I'll be talking to family and friends, and I'll talk to some of the kids in the generation under me. And I'll tell them, I'm like, with y'all generation, it's like, y'all lacking principles, y'all lacking morals and respect and stuff like that. But I'm unable to blame, everyone that's in your generation for that, when we are the ones that y'all look up to. You're not going to look up to, our mothers and fathers. You're going to look up to us because, they don't have the time and energy to be sitting there trying to tell them the same things they was telling us. They gave us everything we need to know, instilled everything inside of us to be able to give to the next generation, and therefore, So that's how I look at that. I'm like, I tell the boys and my family back home, like, look, we the young OGs now. The older guys don't have time to be sitting here trying to tell these young boys how to stay off the street. They don't have time for that no more. They were struggling trying to make sure we listen to them.
Right.
So it's time for us to pay due.
Yep. They feel like they didn't put their time in. They passing it on. They passing
They
it
put their 10,000 hours in, right?
on. Man, what? Um. So growing up, man. Was it anything else you like to do besides sports? Was it anything that caught your eye early besides the sports game? Sports.
Oh man. So let me see. See if I can miss. I actually just did this today. So drawing was also a big thing that I
Okay.
like to
Fred,
do.
Fred Flintstone. Yeah.
Yeah, drawing. Also making music. But like growing up, drawing, flipping. Hood gymnastics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
look, hey look. Another thing, the generation don't have. See, I told them, I'm like, we the last of the outside babies. I'm
Man.
like, I'm originals 90 baby, so I'm like, we the last of the outside. Like, we didn't care about having game systems and stuff inside the house. We outside. I'm like, if you want to know where we at, all you gotta do is look for all the bicycles.
Man.
Look for all the bicycles.
Facts. 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 Bicycles, everything, man. And then look, we ain't had no bottled water. We was drinking out the hose.
Man,
The
what?
water
Hey,
hose.
look, we didn't have trainers back in the days. We had a court and we had each other. And
Yep,
we
that's
had, you
it.
feel me, whatever objects we wanted to use.
Yep, that was it. That was it. We everything we was doing learning on the fly.
Keyword. And that's the thing, and that's the advanced level that the kids have now. They learn on the fly with everything. They got everything to learn.
Yeah,
But it's just the effort and the discipline to want to learn, to want to be open to learn more than what you're
exactly.
getting already.
Right, right. Um, so when did you start playing sports or just having the love for
It was it was in my blood as far as, family go. Like both sides of my family, I have, athletes, different sports and stuff. And like, I really wasn't into sports until, I say around 10, 11, 12. That's when I started getting more into wanting to play basketball. But football was my first love. Football was my first love. And
it? Really?
yeah, I
Okay,
won 2 championships in middle school.
okay, okay. Then okay. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
won.
so football was it took your it took your heart first. I'll say that.
Yeah. Football definitely it ignited my passion, my drive to want to play sports. It,
Okay,
it, it definitely ignited my passion and drive to want to play sports.
okay.
But that was the icing on the cake.
Right, right.
Once I started playing basketball, I started having the love for basketball around 12 years old. And I wasn't playing with my peers at that time. I was playing with all the OGs, all the older guys, and they was
Right.
dropping me on the ground, get back up. That's how it
Right.
was. Ain't no, come on, no, get up, come on, you
Yes.
okay?
I bet.
It's all
I
right.
bet.
You get some
Dust
bumps
yourself
and
off.
bruises, it's okay.
That's it. So who did you look up to growing up?
Oh man, I got so many role models. I give you a few though. I say my coach. First of all, my father and my uncle. My father James Lamont Green, and my uncle Tyrone Green. Back home they call him Burnt. Definitely NBA, NBA talent, both. But like, situations in life, come about, and my father, he didn't have an opportunity to do it. My uncle, he didn't have an opportunity to do it. So, that was already like a little piece of pressure for me because everybody back home was looking at it like, hey, well, them two didn't make it. So what you gonna do? And my whole scenario on it was at the end of the day, they didn't make it how they wanted to make it. But at the end of the day, I know they with me. I know
Right.
what I'm doing is represent not just myself, but it's represent what they was, they wanted to do more.
Right.
So I took all that stuff and I used that as fuel, fuel to the fire. Not use it in no negative way. How we was raised up in the low poverty. Most of the time as a man out there in the streets, we were unable to express ourselves, and that's something at an early age I understood that, hey, that's like a gift and a curse. You know, being out here in these, in the society, and you trying to express yourself and people not listening. But then you looking and wondering why so much violence, because they feel like that's the only way they can be heard.
Heard. Yep.
You feel me? And it's like, nah. Like, nah, there's many ways to express yourself. Don't be afraid to express yourself. And that's the number one thing that I was getting through as I was, growing and maturing out of the hood and everything. I never had a problem with expressing myself. I never had a problem with, communicating and all that. But of course, we have them ups and downs, especially in, rough situations or tough times. But most of the time, I never had a problem with expressing myself. I never had to use anger or violence to express myself.
Right.
And that's something that I told myself at an early age. I don't want to be able to use violence to be able to express myself.
Right. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, you don't want to use that
Nah,
because somebody might express themselves back on
they
you.
can
You know what I
they can
mean?
match they can match your energy,
Yeah,
and
match
that's
your
the thing
energy.
about it. They can match your energy, and that's what life is about. And that's the biggest me just breaking things down to the simplest form for all of us to understand. Life is is a give and receive energy. You feel
Definitely.
me? So it's really all about how you give and you receive your energy and what you plan out here in this world. That's what's going to return back to you.
Right.
So
Definitely. Yeah. So you was saying earlier about middle school. You played football. You won two championships in football. You played basketball in middle school as well, right?
yes, I played. My first year was seventh grade year. Didn't know no lick of basketball. This is my first time playing. I'm
Yeah.
literally. It was so bad. It was so bad that when the coach put me on the court, the referee already got a whistle in his mouth. He knows as soon as I touch the basketball, it's gonna be a double or a walk.
Something wrong finna happen. Yeah.
So going into my eighth grade year, first game of the season, the ref looking, he's starting. He looking at me, I'm starting and I'm doing jump ball. So he's confused. Same ref from the year before, he confused. Like, now just last year, he couldn't dribble, he couldn't shoot, he couldn't do nothing. Now he's jump ball and everything. So as soon as he threw the ball up, I jump ball. I got the ball to my teammate. We scored. They go down and try to shoot. I blocked it and hit blocked it to the wall. The
Mhm.
referee was like, "What in the world? This is a whole 360."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he couldn't even play ball just last year. But that whole summer, I was just in the country working. My cousins just working on my game and just working on ways to get better. But in our reality, my eighth grade year, I got kicked off the team the second semester. So that was a key point and learning lesson for me to understand that how much it means to be a student athlete. And that's how much I really tell the kids, like, hey, I'm telling you now, when you get the love and passion for stuff and you start having fun doing what you love but you ain't got the grades for it, what you expect gonna happen?
No,
So to
that.
prevent that, let's focus on making sure we're a student first. The athlete part is gonna come second.
Yeah,
You
I know.
know,
I know that firsthand. I was seventh grade, and I think my mom didn't like C's at one point. So,
man.
I
Hey, look, that don't settle for less. You know that don't
man,
settle.
man, she didn't like C's. I think I had got a C or a D or something, and in my seventh grade year, and I couldn't play. So I know exactly what you mean. Hey, and when you like you said, when you love it, and it's something you want to do, man, you can do anything you can to get back on, to make up for that. So I definitely, but like you say, it's a lesson learned.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, sure.
so high school, man. I see you went to Pam Pack High School.
Yeah. So I went to two high schools. My first high school was Northside High School, and then I did 2 years at Northside, and now I did 2 years at Washington High School, Washington Panpack. That's the same high school as Dominique Wilkins.
Okay, okay. So so Pam Pack, your junior and your senior year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how was it those both of those years, and how did you develop your game from your junior year into your senior year?
I would say going into to Panpack, going into my last 2 years, I was playing point guard on varsity at Northside. My sophomore year, I was on varsity, and it was a transition because first off, like the way everything was, happening, my father just getting locked up in prison, having a heart attack and a stroke at the same time, and my grandparents, my grandmother having a stroke, and my grandfather was going blind at the time. So it was a big transition and everything. But as I adjusted through that, through the difficulties and times, like I really like had amazing people around to give me the keys and the tips to keep going. It was not 1 second I didn't have a basketball in my hands.
Right.
That's what used to keep me to, keep my mind forward and keep me just staying positive and keep going forward because of all the things that I was dealing with, you know, at that time.
Right. Yeah. So your so your senior year, how did that end, basketball wise? Oh,
Uh,
first off, before that, did you play football in high school, or you just was like, nah?
I played my freshman and sophomore year at Northside football,
Mhm.
but when I got to Washington, I went to work out. I went to train with them, but it was always, I always was given the ultimatum by the time the season start. Like, either you
Yeah,
gonna play football or play basketball, and it's like, hey, if I chose to come out here and I'm out here working out with y'all the whole summer, I obviously want to play football.
yeah,
If I did that 2 years in a row, but
yeah,
once
yeah,
you give me an ultimatum, it's like, what's the purpose of me still coming out here? And if you don't, you trying to give me an ultimatum.
yeah, yeah. So
So,
nah, I feel you on that. Uh, yeah. So okay, your senior year. How did your senior year end? And did you have any accomplishments or accolades towards the end of your senior year?
yeah, my senior year in high school, actually, the first 8 games, we started off 8-0. The start of the season, we started off 8-0. I actually was able to play against my old school. You know, it was,
Oh, I know you. Well, I know you was like, yeah, it's that time.
hey man, listen, rest in peace to Coach Proctor. I ain't gonna never forget when we got there to the school and the girls basketball, the girls was playing. So I went to the locker room to get ready for the game. Coach Proctor called me to his office. And before I moved to Washington, I was there. So after school, when I'm staying after for practice and everything at Northside, I'm always in there just soaking up knowledge because all my family and friends and cousins, they play for Northside. My father played for Northside, so he had plenty of film. He had plenty of tapes and everything of all my family members. So he knew that's I love to do all that, love to watch and look at everything that he had. So he had called me to his office before the game, he just gave me a package, a book bag package of games and jerseys of my father and everybody. And I asked him, I'm like, what was this for? He was like, I know how much you love, to study the game. I know how much you love to see your cousins and your father and them play. He's like, this is for you. I was like, I appreciate it. I thank you for all this. It's totally a blessing. So right before I was walking out, he looked at me, he said, please don't hurt us too bad.
They knew it was something coming. They knew it was something coming.
And I was just, I looked at him and I just smiled
Yeah,
because it wasn't too much I could say about that. I know what I know what I know what I'm bringing to the table.
right,
This is all my family and friends. From my first 2 years and from growing up. I grew
right,
up with all these. This is from where I was raised up at. Not Washington. In
right,
Belhaven and Pantego. Like when people ask me, I tell people like if they ask me specifically where I was raised at, I would tell them Pantego, Oakfield.
right.
Out in the country. So that's why I tell them Beaufort County. And they'd
Yeah,
be like, where you like, where's that? Most of the time they'd be like, well, where's Pantego? Or where's
yeah,
Belhaven and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep it simple. Because most all around the world, they only know of Washington, North Carolina.
mhm,
They only know of the big areas around where I'm from,
right.
not the real small areas. You can go to Money, Mississippi or Philadelphia, Mississippi. They
Yeah,
don't know nothing about that
exactly.
until they hear about it or they see it. You feel me?
Mhm. Or somebody the famous coming from their part or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you absolutely right.
So
Uh,
everywhere. Yeah.
Now go ahead. You just saying I was gonna finish up about your senior year. How
Oh
did you
yeah.
end?
Yeah, we finished out, man. We lost in the first round. It was our first time going to the playoffs in over, I want to say 10, 15 years. We made it to the first round and we lost by the buzzer beater. Alley oop layup. We lost at the buzzer beater. So that was my high school. That was my ended of my high
Yeah,
school. As far as accolades go, I averaged 12 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. I had over 6 games where I had over, triple double.
yeah,
So, but the thing, remember, I was telling you I was playing point guard. I
right.
get to Washington now. I'm playing center. I got cousins. Yeah, I got cousins. I got teammates. 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". I'm
Yeah,
6'2", 6. I'm 6'2", literally, probably
yeah,
6'1", 6'2" at the time. I didn't hit
yeah,
my growth spurt like that.
yeah,
So, because I got bounce. I've been dunking since I was 12, 13 years old. So, when it comes to the bounce part, they knew I had bounce, but it's like, hey, you got me out of position,
yeah.
but it's okay. We're going to make the best out of it because it actually prepared me for, Valley.
Right.
You feel
Yeah,
me? So I
because
look at all that as a plus.
most country people be having that they had that bounce, man. You know, but you out there
Hey,
for real, hey, most people out there, man, they got just raw, they're just raw athletic, talent that just need to be, groomed and you know what I'm saying, molded into what it is.
guided, guided and like you said, groomed and critiqued. And that's what we all needed. Like you said, we coming out there in the country lands. At the end of the day, like I tell the kids, dog, that was the best time of my life being creative. It taught
Yeah,
me how to be creative. When you just got 30 miles in front of you full of land, you got behind you 30 miles full of land. Everything is land around you. You got,
right.
6, 7 houses right on the main strip. So
Yeah,
it's like you ain't have no choice but to use your mind.
that's it.
You feel me?
Mind
And
and
that was the
they say
man.
imagination. That was it. So the end of your senior year is college time. So we know you went to Mississippi Valley, but where, who all recruited you, and why did you choose Mississippi Valley?
Okay. Before I went to Valley, my first year I went to Albany Central College in Illinois. Nice area. Many people would say, "Oh, it's a racist area." It's literally borderline to Indiana. It's actually not too far from Vincennes, Indiana, where Sean Marion played at.
Okay.
So I was there for 1 year. The experience. It was a lot of ups and downs. I learned a lot there. At the same time, when you were saying about recruitment goals, I had Auburn, Louisville. Louisville is what got me to Valley. That's the story I'm about to tell you. I had a few other colleges, but the highlights of my recruiting, because I wasn't recruited out of high school. I didn't have no looks out of high school. Like literally, I had to get it out the mud. Go to showcases, go to places and be seen. I had people to take me to these camps and stuff like that, and put me in these camps. Shout out to Damian Wilkins, you know, helping me, put me inside the Adidas Nation camp. That's how I was able to be seen and exposed. Big brother, Damian Wilkins, he got me into the Adidas Nation camp. That was at the time for all the NBA draft players going into the 2009 draft. Nolan Smith, for
Yeah.
example, Nolan Smith, Tweety Carter, Ipe Udoka, Derek Favors. Just
Okay.
a couple few big names was there, and just getting that experience, and then meeting Rick Pitino's son. That's
Okay.
how that connection happened with Valley. So as I'm doing my thing out there at the camp, people ask me like, "You in school? Are you in college?" I'm like, "No, I'm not in college." They're shocked.
Yeah.
Like, coming from being unrecruited and out of high school to going to one camp and boom, you got St. Mary, you got all these big time schools now, want to offer you, and it's like, wow, a dream come true. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, you know, it's something new to me, but then I gotta make the right choice.
Right.
So what really helped me make the right choice was, Coach Patino. He was going through his the rape allegations at that time. So, he didn't really have much time to be doing recruiting and everything. Shout out to him. And I truly appreciate him. Truly appreciate Coach Woods, for that three-way call and, listening to them talk and figure out who's going to offer me. And Coach Patino was like, listen, I got a player right now, a coach that he's great, and I feel like he's a great fit for you. And I know that, you can go there and do your thing. You feel me? He threw that alley oop to Coach Woods. And I was like, I totally respect that.
Cause,
First and
cause he
foremost,
played, cause Coach Wood played for him. It Okay. Yeah, that's
there
why
you
that's
go,
why I did
Kentucky.
that. I
Yep,
was like,
yep,
oh, okay.
yep.
Yeah, okay.
So you see how it go. You see how when you pay it forward, you feel me? You pay it forward, come right back. We
Come
talked
right
about
back.
that earlier. You
Yep.
feel me? So that's how I got connected with Valley.
Man, that's wild. That's
They asked me, they was asking me, it was like, where Itabina at? I'm like, man, I ain't never heard no Itabina. What is that? You feel me? I'm like, where is this at? I'm like, okay, Mississippi Valley State. I'm like, okay, home of Jerry Rice. I'm like, but I ain't never knew, until I actually got there. All I wanted to make sure was when I got there, to make the best out of every situation, which,
right.
I mean, that was already understandable when I got there. It's the beginning of Valley, being built. So we, I'm like, all these kids now, they see Valley how it is now and everything. They can only imagine how it was back in 2009, going in 2012. Just imagine, being rebuilt and remodeled, and we watching all this stuff coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
They seeing the finished product. We watching it be, we watching the creativity of it being opened up and all the projects.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo.
I didn't go, but I'm not far. I wasn't far, so I was on campus. Me and my couple of my friends right on, so I saw the transition. I guess
You feel me? The progress, the process.
Yeah,
You feel me?
man.
We all was going through that process.
Yeah.
But my first day on campus, man. Shout out to Coach Dale. He came and picked me up from the airport. So we get on campus, and when you first get on campus, you see the nice building there, the night, everything. It wasn't there at that time. You feel me? It wasn't nothing there, so it wasn't too much you can see at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So we bust the left, we get past the floor, we about to bust the right. As soon as we bust the right and got on campus, I said, man, they got me. Dale was over there crying, dog. I said, dog, they got me.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Man, he was over there crying, laugh. He was like, listen, he was like, nah, don't even worry, everything's gonna be all right. I'm like, listen, I ain't worried. I didn't expect it was going,
way
once I come on this
different.
corner.
Way different from the brochure.
Exactly. But then I understood, like, hey, at the end of the day, man, this is a great opportunity to, to put your name engraved with all your other teammates. You feel me? And I'm like, look, this is an opportunity that we can, we can start a wave here. Right. As a group, and that's what we did. Senior year, that's a movie. Oh, yeah, it's still a movie.
Yeah, we about to get. Yeah, we definitely didn't get to that. So your sophomore year, you coming in. Well, technically your sophomore year. Your first year at Valley. You was getting your feet wet. Junior year, still kind of getting your feet wet. Learning process of the sport. But your senior year, you average 11 points, 7 rebounds, 50% field goal percentage. So how was your adjustment from your first year at Valley to your senior year?
Well, the reason of the way I was playing at that time was my first year at Valley. I lost 13 people that my first year, including my father. I lost my father 12 days before Christmas, 2009. You feel me? So all that took a toll on me. But at the same time, being there at Valley instead of being at home, it really, got me right and got me, had me to understand, like, look, I told myself before I even made that opportunity to go to Valley or any school, I told myself before I left the hood, like, hey, I want to get as far as I can away from home. I don't want to be nowhere close to home. I was like, at the end of the day, if I'm, I go through troubles and trials and tribulations, I know that God got me protected. I know that, everything's going to be okay. As long as my family good, back home, I'm going to be okay. They know I'm going to be okay, So, my first year, I went through that. And going into my junior year, my oldest daughter, Nay, she came. So, all that, the adjusting of being a father, losing your father and just, keeping your mind going and, losing family and friends like that. I had family and friends out there, just giving me guidance, all the, teachers, man. So, it was a blessing to get through that time there. That's where I really understood the Valley family. You feel me? The Mississippi family. I ain't just talking about Valley itself, just the whole Mississippi, in the whole, the Southern hospitality. That it's a blessing.
Yes, it's one of a kind.
Definitely one of a kind. For sure. You feel me? And then on top of that, like I said, at first when I found out, Itabina, and then me doing research and doing my project in high school on Emmett Till. And then I found out, not too far away from Valley. I'm like, what?
Right.
Did you not, dog? I didn't come off campus like 2 months.
Yeah.
I didn't come off campus for like 2 months.
Hey, look, when you got off, it wasn't much that you got into because it wasn't much.
Exactly. Look, I'm coming to Greenwood. Look, we going to Sonic somewhere, get something to snack on, get right back on campus. Go right back to campus. Might go to Ocon. You feel me? Go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Walmart real
Hey, look, that's it. That's all. That's all you got, man.
Hey, look, you feel me? Like, make the best out of it. If you ain't gonna go that
Got
way,
to.
we might go to Memphis or we might go to Jackson. You feel me? But
Right, right.
at the end of the day, campus life. I stayed on campus most of the time.
Hey, look.
I'm in that room or I'm in that gym.
Yeah. Hey, so your senior year, man, y'all win the SWAC championship. Y'all finished 17-1 in the conference. Um, so that SWAC championship game against Texas Southern, y'all won by 1 point. No. Y'all, how much y'all win by?
We won. No,
It was
we won by a few points
few
because we
points.
was
Okay,
actually up. Yeah, we was up by a dub going into the
okay,
half.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So how did that feel winning this SWAC championship? And just basically finna head to the NCAA tournament.
man, it felt great because the first 2 years we lost in the first round of the playoffs both times, and that last time our junior year and we lost. I had the last shot. I missed the last shot. And I came into the locker room and I told the team and told coach, I was like, listen, dogs, we're not losing to next year. I'm like, we're not losing next year. I promise that. We come across this opportunity, we're not losing this time. And, just going into the preseason and everything, that whole summer, me, Baby Mike, Philando, T, Kev, like a couple of the guys, we was on campus, we was on campus getting right. So
Yeah.
that whole summer, me, Baby Mike, Paul, rest in peace to Paul, we sleeping in the gym. We sleeping in the gym. You feel me? Like, so, going into the season, we already had our mind already made up. And
Yeah.
then, just the whole dynamics with everybody coming together, going into the conference, we had the number one toughest schedule. So it was
Okay.
like, dog, we played all the, biggest teams, nationally ranked teams, and it propelled us for the conference. So
Yeah.
when we got to the conference, it was just like, autopilot, cruise control.
Yeah.
But we
Hey,
could, we didn't take that, we was doing the best trying not to take that for granted. Cause you going undefeated, you got ESPN on campus, everybody watch you and stuff. That them distractions, you can look at that as a distraction, or you can look at that as an opportunity to, embrace from it and get better. And we could have easily looked at that as distractions and lost focus, and we wouldn't have been the second team with the longest win streak, in the
right.
whole NCAA that year. So it's
Right.
like we actually made a name not only for ourselves as a team, but for the whole valley to let the whole SWAC know, like, hey, just because they try to look at us as we low major, hey, look, nah, they got us twisted.
Yeah.
There's a lot of amazing colleges, a lot of amazing players coming from the SWAC. So you're not going to disrespect us like that.
Right.
So it
Right
was
now.
like going into the NCAA tournament, we had our mind made up like, dog, it's not just about our team, it's about the whole SWAC too. Like, yo, we gonna, we got it, it's gonna ring bells. Y'all not gonna disrespect the SWAC like we just, like we small fries.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It don't
None
work
of that.
like that.
None of
Nah,
that. Um.
that's out of
So
respect.
yeah. So the championship game. Well, in the SWAC championship, you had 9 points, 8 rebounds, almost a double double. So
Mm-hmm.
now y'all win that game. Y'all go to the NCAA tournament and play Western Kentucky. Now I looked at that game. I saw it, of course, then,
Mm-hmm.
but doing my research, I looked at the game, and y'all led the whole game, majority of the whole game.
Up 16 with like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, and so you only lose by one. Okay, and with two of your best players having a bad game. I think Paul was like 3 for 9, and Jonah was like 1 for 10.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, on that game, man. First off, what was the mindset going into that game against Western Kentucky?
Oh, the mindset was, just stay solid. We know the season been long. We know it's been a long season. At the end of the day, the biggest thing for us now is to focus. Stay disciplined, stay locked in. Make sure we healthy. Make sure that the small things are taken care of.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, as long as we take care of the small things, the big, everything else is going to take care of itself. We knew, after that game, we was going to play Kentucky. That was our mindset already. Like, hey, I'm ready to play against them. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's time to let the world know that the SWAC ain't playing and Valley not playing at all.
Right. Yeah, y'all definitely put it on notice because I mean it was on TV, so everybody was able to see the talent that Valley had. You stepped up, third leading scorer on that for that game. I think you had, I think it was like 10 points, 7 rebounds. Um, so like I said, y'all led majority of the game. I even saw Obama in the crowd.
Yeah, Obama and Prime Minister of Great Britain was there.
Yeah, so just that overall experience for you personally, how did that feel?
It was overwhelming. First of all, we got the president at the game. You know, when do you ever get to see the president? You know, so for us to have him, his first
And he
game.
just chilling, like he ain't Secret Service, ain't doing this. He just having a good time. So you never, you usually see him like, just in his normal.
Exactly. He's there having a good time. But as far as Secret Service go, majority of the crowd is Secret Service. You feel me? So it's like, hey, he enjoying himself, Prime Minister enjoying himself, and that's what we wanted to make sure that they enjoy themselves, and we put on the show that we needed, that we wanted to continue and finish out with. But that's what came with it. It was definitely bittersweet for me because, like I told you in high school, how I finished my high school career, my senior year, off of alley-oop layup, we lose by one.
Yeah,
My senior year in college, we lose by one. So it was like, okay,
yeah, but
like
then you had to tip in at the end to to have it because Burrell shot the three and missed, and where it was an air ball, and you
hmm
tipped it back in, for to lose by one. But
yeah,
I was looking at that play, man, that 3-point play that that guy ended up getting on Baby Mike, and
hmm
I was just like, man, that it's just a bad way to go out with that tie game. Y'all been playing hella fire defense and playing a good game because it was a low scoring game.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. It was a great team, man. It was a great game. You feel me? Like it was a
yeah,
great game,
great.
hands down. But we already had our mind, going into that, them last 5 minutes. We like, bro, we up 16. Like the main thing is just, we gotta stay solid. We gotta watch out for the distractions because we know it's about to be a lot of distractions. It's not the first time we've been in these situations. Like you feel me? We just against Texas Southern, we was up by a dub, and they end up coming back. And just in the preseason, we was up on South Carolina by 11. They come back and win. So it's like, we went through these scenarios already in the beginning of playing, preseason and stuff. But, like I said, it's a long season. By the time you get to the end of the season, it's like, it's all about that now. That and the spirit. You feel me?
Yep. That's
That
it.
and the spirit. And you and your teammates. So, man, a lot of the guys, like, I'm for sure probably don't even watch that game. Don't even look at
Man,
it.
I mean, like you say, man, it was a rough way. Like you said, by one against
Yeah.
their team, to then it would have been Valley's first ever NCAA win, and that would have been huge for Valley itself.
You
Um,
feel me? That right there, what you just said, all that was on our mind at the same time. Like we was just looking to just continue to set the bar high
right,
for those after us. For all those after us coming to Valley, coming to SWAC, to understand like, hey, it don't matter where you go. It's about what you do where you go at. It's not how you
right.
start, it's how you finish.
How you finish? Definitely. So that season ends. So your college career is over. So now you head overseas, and
Mhm.
like I said, I'll do a little research. So, um, you your 2 years you played for. I'm trying to get this name right.
First and field.
Firsterfield,
First and field.
Firsterfield Panthers
Yeah,
for
my
two
first
years.
year. My first year I was in Austria. I was
Okay.
in First and Field. Yeah, First and Field Panthers. That was my rookie year in the top league. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was an amazing experience, Amazing experience. I learned a lot over there from a lot of OGs, and one OG, my guy, he gave me the real, key. He was like, it's about longevity. He said, look, it's all about longevity, finding you a country, finding you a place that you love and a place that love you and enjoying your moment there. Stay. If
Right.
that if that's what comes to it, then if that's what God has for you, then receive what God give you. You feel me?
Yeah.
So at that time, him telling me that he had just got a 9-year contract extension. for his team. I'm like, yo,
What they at? What them at?
you feel me? I'm like, yo, like, okay, you
Okay.
know.
Yeah. So 2 years at Field, and then I see you played at Port Tarmo.
So
Uh,
I did my first year at First and Field, and my second year I went to Porvoo. That's in Finland. In Finland, yeah,
Okay.
Porvoo.
Okay.
Yeah, Porvoo. Look, you already know we country, so you know we
Man,
going.
look, I was
I'm
looking
looking
at
like
them. I was like, man, I hope I pronounced this.
I promise you. Look, I promise you, I got your back. But you know, when I first heard it, I'm looking like Porvoo. Like, what is it? Porvoo Tarmo. You know, I'm like, I would have
Yeah.
never thought of none of these places if I
Right.
didn't have the opportunity to go there.
Right. Right.
You
Right. Right.
feel
Right.
me?
Yeah.
So
But yeah.
yeah.
So your whole overall experience from I guess you could say from now until when you first started, what's that been, that journey that you've had overseas to the plenty many of countries that you've been.
Oh yeah, since my first year, 2012, 13 overseas, and just until now, seeing almost 15 countries, in five designated places, you know, just seeing life itself in different perspectives and lenses, from others' eyes and other language barriers. It showed me like, hey, it's a struggle all over the world. We all have a struggle in life, and the thing is, it's all about like we say in the hood and at home. It's all about how we come together and work through it.
Right.
If I can go to another country and they're showing me this love and this acknowledgement and this respect and everything, and they're working together and they're uplifting me instead of degrading me and tearing me down, like what I'm talking to myself like, wow, why are we not unable to do that back home? How can I help my community? How can we help the community? How can we all help each other, help our youth in the community?
Right.
That's my mindset.
Right.
And
No,
it's like, yo,
yes, man. What's that? What is reach one, teach one, trying to it's
we stopped trying when we came out the womb. You feel me?
man.
The thing is, we're gonna continue to strive. We're gonna
That's it.
continue to thrive. Teach, continue to thrive to learn, continue to thrive
Yeah.
to to earn, continue to thrive to dedicate, be disciplined, all these little things. And that's what my business I have over here. I started my own business. What's confidence?
Okay.
And that's what I teach the kids. Like I was telling you, since I've been playing overseas, every country I've been to, I've been, with the kids, talking to the
Yeah.
kids, doing things with kids, going to schools, whatever I can to help contribute to the kids around me, to the kids that, because at the end of the day, I look at it like this. I remember at times when, growing up, you feeling like you ain't got no hope. You feel like you're back against the wall. You feel like, at the end of the day, if I don't do it, who's going to do it?
Gonna do it. Yeah.
And me being the oldest grandchild on both sides of my family, is like, okay, I got to set the bar high, not only for myself, but for my cousins, for my siblings. For at the end of the day, I knew that my purpose was was high, already at a high reach,
Right.
because at the end of the day, I got to set that. I'm the one setting the example and leading by example.
Right.
So I have, yeah, we have room for excuses, but I don't have no room for excuses. I ain't have no room to be sitting here being lazy either.
Especially as a man, you know what I'm saying? Like we look to provide, protect, you know what I'm saying? Be that ear, be that back, and be that shoulder to lean on. So we definitely can't fall short by no means. So
Keyword.
I totally understand and feel you on that. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
October 30th, 2019. One of your close teammates, man, passed away. Big Paul Crosby, rest in peace. How did that affect you? And what kind of teammate was he?
Man, first off, I had just me and my wife just got back from being married in Georgia, the country Georgia, and I had talked to Paul and his father while I was over there. Right after we just got married, I had talked to him on video. I told him I was gonna call him later on, because we had went to the Caucasus Mountains. I was showing him around the area, showing him how the view, and he over there going crazy. Like me and Paul talked at least 3 times a week before he passed. Like when I say like I'm the first person he met as far as the basketball team. I'm the first one he met on campus. And the crazy thing is you know how it is at university on the side, the side of by the baseball softball field. So,
Right.
he said he on the side door just chilling at the by the steps. I come down the steps real fast trying to go. I'm on a mission. So as I'm coming around the curve, you feel me? He jumped, scared me. You feel me? Mind you, at that time, Paul just got on campus. He like 350. 355. So I'm like, I don't know if he's a football player. I didn't know he was a basketball player. In my first, perspective, I thought he was a coach. So, I'm like, my bad, dog. I'm like, what's your name? He's like, Paul. I'm like, all right, my name Cor-J. I'm like, what you got going on? He was like, oh, I'm over here, I'm part of the basketball team. That's all he said. I didn't hear, player. I'm like, oh, you might be a coach then, cool. So I'm walking with him, showing him around. We get to, get to the gym. We getting ready for practice. And the coach was like, we got a new player. I'm like, new player? I'm like, this big guy here? I'm like, you talking about him?
Yeah.
I'm not underestimating him, but I'm like, you talking about this guy? You can look at him and tell, like, he got, he ain't no, he big, but don't get it twisted. Like, he got some game. Listen, that first time I seen that man grab that basketball and start dribbling that rock, and he's dribbling like a point guard. Me, Kevin, all the guys looking at each other. He's dribbling the ball like a point guard, doing everything, every move. I'm like, yo, he got game. You feel me? When I say, man, passionate, goal driven, you know, whatever needed. Not just on the court as a teammate, but also off the court as a brother, as a friend. He gonna let you know he got your back. He gonna make it known. You gonna feel it. You feel me? You gonna know that he cared. And that's who he was. I mean, you feel me? One of the most lovable people you'll ever be around. Cool, laid back. He always for the good vibes. Anybody bringing any bad vibes, he gonna let it be known. Like, hey man, we not here for that. You feel me? So
Yeah.
When that happened, dog, we had just got back from Georgia, and we was over at my wife's parents' house, and I was on live, talking to family and friends, and then I get off live for a split second, and I see rest in peace to Paul. You feel me? One of his close friends from where he from home. Shout out to Mo. He had posted on his page, rest in peace to Paul. So when I saw that, I knew, something ain't right. For him to post that, I know, like, I know he ain't gonna just post it. So I called him, and he told me what happened. And man, I said it tore me up, dog. It tore me up. And then on top of that, it's my daughter's birthday is my baby girl birthday, Halloween, the 31st. So the next day we had our wedding party, and her birthday was connected together. So of course I was tore up about it, but man, I know he was with me, during that time celebrating. He was there, he was there enjoying the moment with me. But I was, to this day, dog. I sit here and I just be thankful for the times I had, the times that we all had with him. Everything that he shared with us. It dawns on me how much I knew, how much he cared, how much of a winner he was. Coming into the program, the man already won. He won in every field, in every level. High school, college. He won a championship. So for him to come to Valley, like I told the boys, I'm like, dog, you see how the Most High work got all of us together at Valley. Coming from different walks of life, and look at how Coach Woods was able to get all these guys from different areas to lock in on one notice and get the job done. I'm like, if that could happen, there's nothing out here that you can say is impossible.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I'm, and to say this too, I appreciate you for you reaching out when Big Smooth passed.
Oh,
So
come on,
we was
man.
kind
You
of
already know, dog.
because the crazy thing about that is, and I don't like to speak on it too long, but they were similar in playing styles.
Yep.
Like they could shoot the three, they could dribble. One was left-handed, one was right-handed, but that was it. They were
Yeah.
big. They were about 6'7", 6'8", knew how to post. I mean, they was almost similar in game. But like I said, one was left-handed, one was right-handed,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just I never met Paul, but I've of course saw the game, and
Yeah,
now Philando and baby Mike always talked about him and stuff like this. So
yeah, for sure, man.
so
Me and
that
Lando, we was talking about, he was over there in Finland with me, and in Bethlehem we was together.
okay,
So and we was together in Bethlehem when I first got here,
right,
2017. So when I say, man, you should imagine Paul seeing all us together. T was out here with us too. So
okay,
it's like a whole family reunion. We all
right,
playing on different teams, but we staying together at Philando House.
right, yeah,
It
man.
was dope, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. Rest in peace to Big Paul, man.
This piece of both, dog.
Yeah,
Smooth and
yeah,
Big
smooth
Paul. They
man,
both
Paul.
inspired me. You feel me? Inspired us. They both,
Right,
they impacted
definitely,
a lot of people in this world. You feel me? They impacted a lot of people in this world. So, their legacy is what we continue to carry on. We continue to talk about that and bring that up to these kids and let them know, greatness come in all forms and sizes.
definitely, definitely, definitely. So I seen something in German hoops that you quoted. You said, "I can do more than fly because I'm a leader, and I do what it takes to win." What did that come from, and what made you make that statement?
Where it came from, because he was asking, what do you bring to the game?
Mhm.
And, usually growing up, people ask, what can you contribute? And I tell them, early. I tell them quick. I'm like, listen, for me, it's not even about the basketball side of it. It's about what, as a person, person like me. My goal is to put you in position to be successful. I'm like, my goal is, we come out here to enjoy the moment, no matter what moment it is, ups or downs, difficulties, trials and tribulations. We're gonna enjoy these moments. So instead, like, when it comes to just leading, like being a leader, like the kids now, they're not understanding, leading and following. Like, I'm not, don't get me wrong, saying, oh, but don't be a follower. That would be, contradictive.
Right,
Because at the end of the day, we follow as well. But at the same time, we do know that at the end of the day, you have to lead, to
exactly.
get the job done, to get things done, stay structured, but knowing who's leading for you on the way and through the way, knowing that you're not doing it by yourself. And that's where, we fall off track with, thinking that we're doing everything by ourselves, get stressed out, depressed. And that's where, I told myself, I was like, hey, no matter what, difficulties come around, we done been through plenty of ups and downs. I'm like, listen, no weapon formed against us all shall prosper. I'm like, if I was able to overcome all these ups and downs throughout my journey, how can, how can I not be able to give my experience and my knowledge and my time to these kids
Right,
that don't have that don't have what we had growing up, like you said earlier, with the knowledge and the guidance and the wisdom from the elders and having the praying grandmothers. They don't know about that.
man. And did they pray? Man, they prayed. So do you have any camps coming up anytime? With the camps, you have any?
Camps, I'm actually right now, I don't have any camps coming up like outside of Israel. Like, I do all
Okay,
my camps right now here. I do
okay,
them here in the community and around Israel. But I have a lot in the near future that I have in mind that I want to do, not only here but back home in Mississippi and all over the U.S. Honestly,
right,
all over the world. Just opening up opportunities for kids to have these opportunities they didn't think they could ever get.
right. Well, that's sure enough though, because they need it, need that around here and other places too. Um, I see you had an album out, called Washington. Am I correct? It's Washington, right? That's the name of the album, Washington.
So on mixtape,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, a mixtape. Yeah, I was looking
yeah,
at it.
I got 10 mixtapes out.
Oh, okay, I seen some on SoundCloud. They
Straight,
had,
straight, straight out of Washington. That's the one you
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Straight out
So
of Washington.
I
Yeah.
was looking at that. So you have 10 mixtapes. What? So we talked about earlier. You said you like to draw and you like music. So is that what kind of influence you was like? Oh, let me just test this out and put this out and just see how it is. You just wanted to kind of just put a little mixtape together and end up doing 10 more or 10
Man,
more.
music always been the key to the soul. You know, we coming from we old soul. You know,
Yeah,
I'm raised up with my grandparents. My grandparents, you know, so I'm a '90s baby, but I got an extra of the '60s, the '50s, '60s, and up. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I'm listening to all that music in the house. So you know, when it came to music, like it always been the key to the soul, and you know, especially you know, to get out of tough times, you're gonna listen to certain, you know, whatever music you listen to is how you're gonna feel or how you choose to feel or want to feel, you know, and then it's like, okay, well, if we know that, and I'm like, I like to make music. I'm like, but you know, I'm overseas. I got 20 hours out the day of free time. I'm not gonna waste it. You feel me?
right,
Okay, bet. Let me invest in myself and learn some new things.
right,
And that's why I tell kids, I tell new incoming players that's going overseas, like, don't waste your time just sitting in the crib or just partying and going out. Like, invest in yourself. Learn about the culture. Learn about things of where you at. Make it fun. Make it worthwhile.
right,
You feel me? So yeah, when I was, you know, as far as when I started making music, like I just told myself, I was like, you know, the music, I don't care about the money, the fame, and the for. I don't care about none of that. I care about finding ways to help, you know, the next person.
right,
To help. You know, you got people out here that's unable to express themselves. And I'm like, okay, so you know, me being a strong individual, being able to express myself, you're like, okay, I can use my gifts that God gave me to help others express themselves. Cause that for me, I'm like, okay, you feel me? It's one tool, but we
yeah,
got many tools. You know, you feel me? We got many tools that we can use, not only generate money, but but just teaching our kids that hey, you already rich inside. Everything that money can't buy, you already have. Teaching them how to use those tools to accumulate the and generate the money that they want materialistically,
right,
and letting them know that just because you don't have materialistic money or materials don't define who you are, define your worth. And that's one of the biggest like game changers that I feel like we got to implement in our communities all over, you know, all over the world. And you know, the struggles that, you know, we're all rich. We all been rich. It's just up to us to go inside and within to accumulate the things that we want to align ourselves to out in the real world. But
that's
how
right,
many of us is taught that? How many of us is taught financial literacy? How many is taught emotional intelligence? How many of us we wasn't taught these things growing up? You know, so the fact that we actually acknowledge that and we now have the grasp of that. Now it's up, like I say, it's up to us to be the ones that help these youth, help the youth now. Because
right.
our ancestors didn't have that. They didn't know nothing about no emotional intelligence. They
No.
knew about that belt. They knew about that switch. You choose.
And you had to go get it.
Man, listen, they tell you real quick, hey, go get you a switch. Go pick you a switch off the tree. Don't come back with a small switch. I'm telling you now, because they go and pick, they gonna have switch as long as the river.
Man, they got one ready, just trying to see which one you gonna pick. Oh, you want to pick this small
Exactly.
one?
They you feel me? It's all mental. That's manipulation. They manipulate us right in. They gaslight us all in one. Like, yeah, go get you a stick. I already know you gonna get one of the smallest trees and already got one behind the chair. So you think you straight. You feel me?
Right. It's that mind game they was putting on. It's that mind game.
Hey,
Uh,
look.
yes, sir. Got some wrap it up questions, man, and then we gonna call it fair, man. Things that come to mind when you hear these names or places. Sean Woods,
Oh man. Hey, coach. All love, baby.
Mississippi Valley.
Hey man, that's my second home. Always. That's my second home.
Uh, okay, the alley that you caught in the tournament. Now hey,
I would
uh,
say, that's set in stone. You feel me? That's set in stone. Like I told that dunk right there, really like it really it put my name out there because think about it, nobody got my name. I'm the only one with Cor-J Cox. So they like who in the hell is a Cor-J Cox? And then okay, this is Cor-J Cox.
yeah,
So like that's him. He got a crazy name, but that's him. He got bounce.
man.
You feel me? So
The commentator said he's flying from the heavens. I said, yeah, he caught that, and it was near somebody. So,
hey,
he got a little. What they do now? What they do this now? They yes, sir. Top five basketball players to come out of NC. Your top five.
My top five,
Yeah,
man, it, it's too many.
I
But I'm
know.
gonna give you a few. I got let me see.
They ain't even got to be big names. Just people that that you played with or whatever. They
Oh
can.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I got Angelo Sharp is one. That's my dog. He playing for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay.
Bam Adebayo, that's my little cousin. He played for the Miami Heat. Um, I got Raph Biggs, Calvin Daniels. We call him Seymour. Man, I got Raphael Marable, Jeremiah Marable, T.J. Slade, Taquan Slade, Quentin Leathers. You feel me? I got Derek Leathers. I got my aunts. I got my. I got too many names to call, but just to put it all in one spectrum, I got Dominique Wilkins, Tony Boston, Michelle, Leathers. So many different
Yeah.
key people that come from our society that gave me that light, that green light to know that hey, we was able to pave a way for you to understand you can do it. But now you can set the bar high and show these kids behind you that you it's not that hard.
Right.
It's not as hard as you think it is when you give God that opportunity to show you how to navigate your ways.
Yeah, that's true. Toughest player you ever had to guard?
Toughest player I had to guard, I would say Harrison Barnes.
It was what year that was?
That was 2011,
20
12 senior year. We
senior.
played against UNC. That was number one in the nation at the time.
Okay. Top three hip hop artists of all time.
Oh man, Tupac, uh, Tupac, Big. Man, this third one would be definitely be controversy. Definitely gonna be controversy, but I'm definitely gonna get to. Let me see what I want to get to. Man, you got me with that one. Big Tupac. I'm gonna go with Pimp C. I'm gonna put Pimp C in this one.
You know, throw a little curveball in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Pimp C in this one.
Yeah.
Throw him in there. Yeah.
Okay, I got. Well, I say this or that, so it's either or. Jay-Z or Wayne.
Wayne,
Kanye or Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick,
Chris Webber or Amari Stoudemire.
Amari,
Jason Kidd or Chris Paul.
CP,
CP.
ENC,
Uh,
baby.
rank these players: Kobe, LeBron, Jordan.
Jordan is 1A, Kobe is 1B, and LeBron is 1C.
All right, that's fair enough. Advice you give your kids, the kids that you play,
I tell them all the time, I ask them, biggest thing is what's confidence. I believe in myself. But the next biggest thing is, what's failures. It's okay to fall, but it's not okay to stay down. That like I got 10 commandments for them. Like I built 10 commandments in my business, my group, teaching the kids basically simple things of life. Like I tell them, I'm not a basketball coach. I'm a life coach. I'm just going to, use whatever sport you choose and we're going to find ways to get through life with it. Feel me? So,
plain, simple and
yeah,
plain.
failures, what's confidence? I ask them what's hard work hard, never give up. What's teamwork? Work hard together. I ask them, what's fundamentals? The basics of life. What's peace? Love with unity. So I got kids of all cultures and countries that know these things. That
Yeah,
from 2000 and 12, 13 till now.
yeah,
So it's like it's been already going before I actually start speaking about it because I like it's a lot of things I do behind the scenes that even my own family don't even know.
right,
That I like to do for people, for the youth, for just life itself to see people just thrive.
right. What's the best advice a coach has given you?
Always be yourself. You know, always be you. You don't have to be like nobody else out here. At the end of the day, like I said earlier, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's also, it's not where you go with it. It's about what you do where you go. Those are the main things that, advice they gave me.
Okay.
Always keep God first. Be you. And you feel me? And no matter where you go with, make sure you enjoy every moment. Embrace every moment.
Well said. Most beautiful country you visited?
Most beautiful outside of Israel, France, Hungary, Croatia,
Okay.
Lithuania.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, man. Listen, you look, it's a lot of them, bro. Like just with the views, with the vibes, with the language, the language barriers. Coming from where we come from, everything you see outside is beautiful.
Beautiful, man.
You
Look,
feel me?
we see blue water, like wow.
Man, hey,
You
yo,
know,
it's different from where we come from. Hey, look, you can actually see the bottom over there.
man, I'm trying to tell you, see the fish in it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, we gonna go fishing. Hey, look, we gonna go country boy. Now, hey, let's go fishing. Let's see if they got fish in them. We can see the fish now. Let's catch
Right,
them.
right. You're gonna catch some exotic stuff out there. You keep messing around. uh, so last question I always ask people, man. Would you change anything about your journey?
I wouldn't change anything about my journey, honestly. Because if anything was to be changing the journey, then I may miss out on some of the key things that God wanted me to learn through this journey. You feel me? So, especially no regrets, at all. Every moment, every person that came in my life, I learned something. And also another thing I tell the kids, we don't take losses, we learn lessons. We don't take losses, we learn lessons, and through those lessons, we gain blessings. You feel me? So, just changing the perspective on how we look at life, how we approach life, and how we start our day every day in life. All these things, matter.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, Cor-J, man. Like I said, I reached out. I said a while ago, I had to get some things going, get some stuff out. I had to change laptop, but
Hey,
but yeah,
look, you already know. I totally understand. I told you, I got you whenever you need me.
yeah, man, and you came through, man. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the time, everything, man. And I reach back out to you when everything get done, and I keep you posted. But there's always love, bro. You always show love, even then we ain't play together, but you still
Hey,
show
look,
love.
you already know. You already know, dog. You feel
Yes,
me?
sir.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's
Yes,
supposed
sir.
to be. You feel me? Like the love you showed me when we came across each other, the
Yeah,
presence. You feel me? Like that's how it's supposed to be for all of us.
yeah, yeah. And I appreciate you, bro, man.
Yeah.
So, man.
Hey, kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Legendary conversations people wanna know. When you're on the way to greatness, what's the way to go? Inspiration for the future, we can make a change. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Legendary conversations people wanna know. When you're on the way to greatness, what's the way to go? Inspiration for the future, we can make a change. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. You can spit your game. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Legendary conversations people wanna know. When you're on the way to greatness, what's the way to go? Inspiration for the future, we can make a change. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game. Kick some knowledge with your partner, you can spit your game.